Good evening. Welcome to the Dugout. We are meeting after an extended gap. One, you had the weekend. And two, we were all set to come live yesterday. I received a lot of your messages on X. I believe a lot of you commented on the live stream as well. I know at one point there were 50-60 people waiting for the live stream to start. But if you thought that, and a lot of people tagged me saying how unprofessional and all. It has nothing to do with us being professional or unprofessional. The fact of the matter is, yesterday there was an outage. Entire YouTube was down. So it wasn't just us, all our platforms were suffering, and we kept sitting, and we so wanted to be live with you guys, speak about the burning issues of Indian cricket as we always do, but we kept waiting and we had no solution. We had a team of 5-6 people working the systems, only to find out later that it wasn't anything wrong at our end. YouTube had some issue, and that lasted till 12 midnight, and only then a lot of matters were resolved. So again, apologies for anyone who had to wait for very long, but as I said, things were out of our control, beyond our reach. Otherwise we would have been live. But here we are, live the Dugout, and we'll try and focus on the things that we have to, as we thought we will do yesterday as well.
And besides us, we got a little thing with us today.
What is it?
Live and exclusive. Live and exclusive.
What have we got? Why don't you tell our viewers?
I just want our family members to take a look. Forget the silverware. Look at the tag over here. This is
Asia Cup Trophy live on Sports Today.
The Asia Cup Trophy is back, guys. It's back.
Wow.
So what the BCCI could not do,
We did.
Jan Hit mein jari.
So here it is, from Mohsin Naqvi's clutches. You guys have managed to steal the trophy and bring it to our very studio.
He should fire those guards or whoever had it on a lock and key. Hey, there was the thing, remember? It's under lock and key, not to be moved.
Yeah, but there's no security as such. It's a very, I've been to that office, just a 2-room office. Very non-descriptive sort of a place. Nothing. It's just locked regularly, like any door is locked. Like that. There are no commandos waiting outside with sniper guns, none of that.
Just the usual glass box that had the trophy we got.
Yeah.
But not from...
But as of course all our viewers would have noticed, even though the logo is the same, but there is a text there which clearly reads Media T20 Cup 2020.
Not Asia Cup.
Not the Asia Cup.
Not Asia Cup. So we, as much as we would want to fool people, so we are not. This is a trophy we won. This was a Media Cup tournament that happened in Lucknow. It's all over digital and print media. Just today somebody sent me a Times of India piece also that they carried. So it was everywhere, and we thought, since we are the ones who won it, as in we in the sense there was participation from our office as well, so why not have the trophy? And the trophy, it was a combined media team of Delhi television media, combined team, and there was a team from Delhi print media, there was a team from sports media of UP, sports media of Uttarakhand. Quadrangular trophy. We won the semis, and then we won the final. It's named after Dr. Akhilesh Das Gupta. If you follow sport, this name should ring a bell. It hasn't rung a bell in the heads of my 2 colleagues, but he used to be president of BAI. I already told you that.
Badminton Association of India.
Yes, Badminton Association of India president. He was there for a long time, and he was also a
Early to mid 2000s type, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he was also the minister. He used to be with BSP earlier, and then moved to Congress, elected representative. His father used to be chief minister of UP at one point.
I sort of assumed he'd be having some sort of political representation, because usually the norm
his father used to be chief minister. So it's named after, he's no more, so it's named after him, the trophy. So here it is, Asia Cup trophy is still there. By the way, that is the joke that's doing the round on social media, is that now Pakistan has all the 3 Asia Cup trophies. Under 19, emerging, and of course the
senior men's,
which technically is not theirs, but they still have it.
They have it.
But there are 2 that rightly belong to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which isn't, by the way, which isn't a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean, great for them, but I'm saying not great for Indian cricket, because there's a massive gulf between where Indian cricket is at the moment and where Pakistan cricket is. It's a game of haves versus have-nots, and in that, for a team like Pakistan, which in terms of financial might or facilities or exposure, they're far behind us. Yet for them to have beaten us in 2 Asia Cup finals, I think that is telling.
No, we didn't make the final in one. So let's be forget.
Yeah,
Correct.
Bangladesh who got out too.
That's the match the match that lost Jitesh Sharma his spot in the Indian team.
Perhaps. That horrid super over.
That horrid super over shot he had.
Yeah.
He came out in the super over, went for a reverse, and then was clean bowled.
No, but the thing is that both those games, we used to be very proud of the bench strength that Indian cricket has, and where we are far ahead of Pakistan and this and that. But look, this is in a way telling you about your bench strength, and you've lost both those tournaments, emerging as well as under 19.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I'll be very honest, I don't think there is even now I believe that on paper you still had the better teams on both occasions, and both teams should have won the Asia Cup. All you've done is poor planning, and I think questions should be asked of the management. You go to that super over, who decided Jitesh should come out to bat at that time? Those questions. And even in this under 19, they have scored some 350. I know it's a big total you're chasing. That guy, Samir Minhas, plays an inning of a lifetime. It can happen to any team. Fine, it was his day, gets 170 odd, and because of which the team gets 350. It's but natural. Any team's batter gets 170 odd, that team will reach 350. Everyone else has to play a supporting role. It can happen to anybody. But I still believe India had the team to chase it down. They had the batting to chase down. All it was down to was their approach, which was faulty. They all came with a mindset that we will finish the game in 20 overs. Everyone is attacking now. Suryavanshi has become the star, so he bats like that. Everyone else wanted to bat like that. 350 in a 50 over game is quite chaseable. It's very normal. You just saw the India-South Africa series. It's very normal. You have to play normal cricket. You don't have to play exceptional cricket to do that. I'll take you back to Indian cricket, where when there was the phase of Shikhar, Rohit, Virat, your top three, they used to regularly get 300 plus totals without any risk. All the top three would do is play percentage cricket, and they would go past 300. What they taught us at that time, only from 2013 onwards, for a full decade, that 300, 350 in ODI cricket is a par total which can be achieved without being adventurous. And my point is that Indian team should have been told that. That is where you need to question the coaches. You have to tell the mindset of the Indian players. Some of your players play the IPL. And again, I don't know whether the problem is T20 cricket, because now everyone wants to be a T20 star, because Suryavanshi is T20 star. So Mr. Matre also wants to be that. Everyone wants to bat like that. With that, you're losing the skill to win ODI games, which a Virat Kohli has, or a Shubman Gill has, or all of them. I think that guy, Aaron Jones, or what's his name, bats number 4, amazing batter for India. I think one of the best technically correct young talents that I've seen throughout this tournament. I've watched his innings, outstanding. Those are the players that needed to, once the Suryavanshi gets out, those are the kind of players that need to step up, and they could have taken. But India, I don't know what mindset they came with. Aaron George. Amazing batter, amazing. But everyone is like, I will get 350 in 20-25 overs and lost out. I think that's a serious issue that Indian cricket needs to address. And what was Mohsin Naqvi doing there, joining the team and celebrating and stuff?
He's technically the ACC chairman, right?
Yeah, but you're you give the trophy and you go away, right? I mean, to be fair, India won the T20 World Cup. Jayasha gave it, but he's not celebrating with the team. And
he walked away after that.
That's what he's supposed to do. You're not supposed to be part of the celebration and trophy pictures and so on and so forth. You're there to give it. You're of course happy, and he could have been happy. He's joining in the celebration. I think it was all down to the pain that he felt through the Asia Cup, where everything was going against him.
That's what good statesmen would do, and he's anything but that, as we know. So yeah, I don't expect him to follow protocol, and these are small mercies maybe.
I believe Indian cricket is also going to investigate the behavior of
behavior and performance.
Of Indian players.
The performance too. I think there were some concerns over the batting the way the batting showed. In fact, the point you mentioned, because 350 odd you can chase if you have a good batting lineup and if you play with your head on your shoulders, which I don't think these guys did. So the two things which they want, one is the behavior, because they felt that there was a lot of aggression, needless aggression being shown. The second was the batting, because they felt that the star-studded batting lineup didn't quite deliver on the goods. And don't forget, January there is a ICC Under-19 World Cup.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are going to be part of the same course team who will be going to that tournament, and they want that, look, okay, Asia Cup happened, you lost, you can't afford a slip up in an ICC tournament.
No, but even this, you're right, there should be investigations of how you lost it.
Yeah, it was
You gifted it on a platter.
You gifted
the manner. Again, you didn't break down the chase. This is exactly what you have to do. I was talking the other day about how perhaps you needed somebody to tell that dressing room what Sachin Tendulkar had said in the 2003 final. He has 300 plus runs, but what did Sachin tell his teammates? Of course, things didn't go as per plan, but he said, okay, we get a boundary every over, and that's doable. That just leaves us with a certain number of runs, which can be gotten in the remaining 200 odd balls that he mentioned. So again, basically, you needed a strategy to be able to go ahead.
7 and over is what you require.
Exactly, that's not a lot.
You don't even need boundaries in certain.
So I'm just saying, if same logic, if you're applying, if you're getting a boundary 7 and over, you need 3 of the remaining 5 deliveries.
But what do you make of the behavior, since BCCI has thought of they will be investigating the behavior of the Indian player?
Yeah,
I
see,
saw the Matre incident, I saw the Suryavanshi
same,
incident.
yeah. Let's be honest, under 19 cricket and all, that's fine, but there was a lot of tension over there on the field as well. Remember, these guys are only following what they're seeing their senior pros do, and they know what that tension is to be. Yes, less fans, etc., but no handshakes, and they know they're being watched just as much. This match is being televised. They know they're going to be talked about. There are things going to be written about them as well. So they knew that the cameras are on them, and this wasn't an easy fixture per se for both sides. There was a lot that I saw from the Pakistan side in terms of aggression, and the Indians also tried to respond in the same currency.
But what currency? Yeah, you're out, you're out. I mean, this is just...
Yeah, just walk.
Yeah.
Walk away. The bowler will... By the way, I remember when Pakistan was batting, and Indian bowlers were also showing aggression.
No,
They were
I
celebrating.
think those cuss words perhaps
My
were a result
point
of the excessive celebration and the over-enthused celebrations you've
But
seen
my
from the
point
bowlers.
is, what do you expect? It's an India-Pakistan game. If I've
Exactly.
gone in as a batter, I'm out. That's basic. I'm out. The bowler will say things. Turn around, go back.
And walk.
See, again, the issue here is that it was now you go back to, and your loss can also be down to the kind of pressure that maybe you've built on the young boys, where it's do or die. You made it into a battlefield. Cricket pitch is not a battlefield. And this was, again, you follow what your seniors do. You made it into a battlefield that happened in Asia Cup. And I am talking about both teams. Whether it is India mentioning Operation Sindoor, whether it's Haris Rao making plain gestures, Sahibzada Farhan doing gun and whatever, Arshdeep also doing, everyone, it was all, or Bumrah doing, it was all over the place. And by the way, that is the time when I concluded the Asia Cup. I said, very happy India has won, they were the better team, but I'm afraid this tournament has left a bad taste. And I said it at that time, and now you are seeing the after effects of that tournament. Just see where you have come. Yeah. You made that game. My point is, I've maintained that fine, two countries are at loggerheads at the moment. You can't be friends. If that is the stance, I agree. But you want to play a sport, don't engage in friendship, don't engage in everything, whatever. But as soon as you make it, see, you got to realize you're not soldiers, you're going to play. All of us are proud of our country, we're patriotic, but I'm not a soldier, who's gone to fight. It's not a battlefield where I'm going with a gun. That is a job of a professional soldier, and they do it. They are trained to do that. They have to tackle things differently. You've gone to play a sport, you have to play within the spirit of the sport. As I said, if it is, then I repeat, what happened the way with the trophy and everything that happened in Asia Cup, in hindsight, if you ask me now, feel that it shouldn't have happened. Actually, India should have pulled out of that tournament. What really happened there was far more uglier than, if this is the situation that it's going to be, you might as well not play them. I'm just saying, just pull out. Though I was always in favor of India playing, and I often said, why should India pull out? If Pakistan has to pull out, let them pull out and keep playing. I still maintain that. But if it's going to become like this, where every game will be like this, like you're making into a battlefield, then it's ugly. Then it's the better scenario is don't play at all.
It's also a bit like that old
Yeah.
saying, right? Where people would say that don't fight with a pig because the pig will drag you down onto the mud and actually enjoy the fight. I'm not saying Pakistan are a pig. Just so we're clear, I didn't need to make that clear because there are people who might misconstrue that. The point is, if you're going to engage in those kind of tactics, at least be sure that you are the far superior team. India.
Which you were.
You were.
But you know what the problem is? This is what happens. I'll tell you. To your point. If I'm the far superior team, okay, and I'm going to get into a fight with you, let's say you and me are boxing, and I know I'm a much better boxer than you. Now, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to guard against trash talk. I'm supposed to guard against your, tantrums. You will come up because you will come up now with different other things to distract me. So what am I supposed to do? I know as long as I focus on my job at hand, which is boxing, there's no way you're beating me.
Correct.
I have to. As soon as you pull me into that fight, which you want me to, which is beyond the skill, and it has got to do with the periphery, that's when you and me become equal, and then the chances of you winning and me become equal. That's my point. If this Indian team on skill wise, I'll still maintain far superior. Are you getting involved in that? Ignore all of that. If you want to answer them, the best thing is you win the game, answer. This is what you're supposed to do. Move on.
It's a bit like, funny you mentioned boxing because it brought back another analogy. There was a boxing match, and I'm being charitable calling it that, between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. An actual, honest-to-God heavyweight champion boxer taking on a glorified YouTuber. And Jake Paul was trying to do exactly that. Kept making gestures, kept this thing trash talk. Come the fight, Anthony Joshua knocks him out in round 6, fractures his jaw in 2 places. Yeah. And he was toying with him. When I said toying with him, I mean round 6 he went for the KO. He could have gone for the KO in round 2. And it would have been done and dusted. It's exactly like that. These guys lost sight of what was important. You engaged with the trash talk. You got dragged down into the mud. And then there, it's a lottery. There's no certified winner of trash talk. But if you get dragged into that, if you lose sight of what's important, then you give every other chance to the opponent to catch you off guard, which is what happened.
Anyone who's watching our program will relate to it because everyone plays gully cricket or whatever. You know. It's very common in gully cricket where one team is far better. What do? You start
Chirping,
taunting, arey out nahi ho raha, run nahi. A smart batter knows he will never respond. He'll never do anything because he knows they're trying to distract me from me doing the job. If I don't get distracted, there's no way we're not winning this. First opportunity you give them. After you won, then do all your celebrations, do whatever. You want to answer them back, do it. And the game, just finish it. But again, that's why I'm saying the management needs to be questioned. You go back to what had happened in Asia Cup, I guess. So in that sense, there should be an investigation. I'm glad to report that BCCI is looking into it. They need to look into it. Because at the end of the day, you go to play, you want to win trophies. And what hurts you more? As an Indian fan, India losing to Pakistan hurts me more than if one bowler is screaming and Ayush Mhatre didn't respond and he turned back and walked away. That doesn't hurt me. It's okay, you got out. Take off your glove. Same thing Indian fast bowlers are doing. I remember when they were bowling, I saw the Indian pacers when they picked wicket, they celebrated with screaming and whatever. I don't know the details. Let's say there were cuss words that were flying. Ignore it. Nothing, you're out now. Nothing can be done. What am I going to do? But with you doing it, now the next batter also comes under pressure. The batter after that also comes under pressure. That's why the shots followed. Mm-hmm. Because now it's anger. I have to take revenge for my teammate. They are abusing him. They're doing this. They did. I will hit the ball outside the park rather than calm heads. 2 wickets fell, no problem. Suryavanshi fell, no problem. Take your time. You can win it. You have good batting. Till 8. 7 and over. Easy.
You will get there. But you didn't.
Yeah, again I said, see now whatever happened in Asia Cup.
And even there, after a point, it became less about the cricket and more about who's doing what. How someone is celebrating, how someone is taunting, all that jazz.
One forget the tantrum that Pakistan threw against UAE? That whole...
not going.
Exactly. Again, it made for better soap opera than cricket. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, but look at them today, they're celebrating.
They may be, and of course, there's only one thing that this young Indian team can do now. Make a statement in the Under-19 Asia Cup, Under-19 World Cup now. It's starting in a couple of weeks' time. In fact, just a couple of weeks' time, 8th, I think, is when the team depart. They have a couple of warm-up matches, after which you get into the tournament. only one way. Good thing is you have to wait a long time at times in professional cricket to be able to take revenge or to be able to make a bolder statement, to hit back. The chances right here, few weeks, just put your head together. Everyone who knows cricket would know that the better team on paper, which is also often the case, can end up being on the losing side. That's perhaps what the difference was the other day as well. And if India are to play to their true potential and yeah, they should be emerging victorious, or at least be putting on a much better show than they did in the final the other day.
Turning our attention to the subject at hand, what do we have today? Shubman Gill.
Also an under-19 star.
What must Shubman Gill be feeling at the moment?
Confusion, disappointment.
So I would say he may still be in a state of shock. He didn't know about this at all, from what I understand.
So just to give you a little bit of information that I've gotten, because I see all sorts of theories flying around. So some saying that, he was told in advance, he knew this, that. Again, I go back to, please check our Dugout a few days ago, where we discussed exactly this thing, that was
the toe injury.
Shubman Gill dropped, or was Shubman Gill injured?
Or the toe injury being a smoke screen.
So, I go back to that entire thing. Now that I have, gotten some information as to what really happened at that time, I believe Shubman did injure himself, and was probably not available for that Lucknow game, and so they wanted to try Sanju, but he was very keen to play the Ahmedabad game. Now I go back to it, because if he was that injured, again, this is something that we discussed there. At that time I told you it's my hunch and I'm not guaranteeing, but now that I've gotten some information as to what had really happened, I'm sharing it with our viewers, that he was keen to play the Ahmedabad game. There is a sequence of event. If you see, there is this thing on the broadcaster where you have a scenario where the coach has his hands, or they have this conversation. Gautam and Shubman have this conversation, and then Shubman is seen walking off. Many thought that was the time that Shubman was probably told that he may not be part of the T20 World Cup team, but that, as I now learn, is incorrect. Apparently that was a conversation where Shubman was told that we're getting Sanju to play this game as well, Ahmedabad, because Shubman was keen to play. Now I can imagine that even though there may have been some sort of discomfort for Shubman, but he knew that the pressure is on him. That's why he wanted, probably knowing fully well this could be his last chance, one more game, to prove that he can get runs there. Unfortunately, he did not get that opportunity, and they went with Sanju Samson. So he didn't at that time know that he will not be part of the T20 team. However, it may have played on his mind, because now you go back to that scenario, you had the team list where you had 14. You did not have the 15th player even mentioned. And I guess that was a lot of headline management, where I'm sure they wanted to put, not say Shubman rested or dropped, because after all, he's your test and your ODI captain. So I think they were managing that. But then you had a scenario where Shubman was bringing the drinks onto the field in Ahmedabad, yet did not find himself in the 15. Firstly, I think that's where you've erred. You shouldn't have done it. You in a way, not to embarrass Shubman, you've actually inadvertently
embarrassed him.
No, you should have hammered. What you also try to do, again, you usually say 11, and then of course you see 4 more rows, and there's a bit of a gap. So basically you get the team sheet in 2 tables. One's the playing 11, the others. That day, Gill wasn't there in the lower half of the sheet. At that time, it was also said that this is also BCCI's way of doing the headline management by passing on a message that he wasn't available for selection. Wasn't that the reading of the situation at that time? I think that's exactly what it was, because you didn't want immediately there to be a message that Gill was there, but the moment you put him in the subs, You tell the world that he wasn't selected.
But I think that would have been better. May have been able to send the right message across that you're trying. What was the harm in that? What has now happened that you said, oh, he was not even rested and he's now completely out of the team? I think he had an inclination that he may not make the team. As I said, I'm continuing from where I left off. I think he was also told about 20 minutes before the
Squad announcement.
20 minutes before the official meeting started that he is out of the team. Because as is the case nowadays for the last few years, the selectors have been having a meeting before the main meeting. So the selectors discuss amongst themselves, okay, what is it? They see what they've agreed on and they have a rough team in their mind. Then they go into the meeting when they present that rough team to the coach and the captain, and if there is any change then they'll have a discussion. Otherwise team is pretty much done. So I think when the selectors had that unofficial meeting, which is now part of their selection process, when they had the unofficial meeting, they reached a consensus that there will be no Shubman, and then Shubman was informed that this is the scenario. Then they went into the official meeting where then the captain joins them and the secretary joins them, and then the team was announced. So again, to answer that question, what must Shubman be thinking? I can't even imagine what must he be going through, because Shubman Gill about 4 months ago was the blue-eyed boy, the heir apparent, or in fact the heir already. What do you mean heir apparent? He was a test captain. The world was at his feet. He could do no wrong. To cut to a scenario where the Indian team is going for a T20 World Cup minus a Shubman Gill. He's yet to play a T20 World Cup.
He was dropped, remember, just before even the 2024 World Cup, because he was there and thereabouts on the side, missed out. This time around again, there and thereabouts, ends up missing out. That's 2 T20 World Cups now pretty much where he's just been in contention and then just missed the cut.
That's what I'm saying. How quickly things turn around. It's absolutely unbelievable. You also have a scenario now where Gautam Gambhir wasn't there in the selection meeting. Because usually your coach has been part of selection meetings. I remember Rahul Dravid being part of selection meetings.
Consistently. Shaz as well.
Yeah. That's not to say that they wouldn't have taken
his inputs. Yeah, again, these days technology, whatever.
Not technology. I mean,
his inputs would still have been taken.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
They've been. Again, why go too far back? Only recently we've had captains where they've joined on a live link and all, and meetings have happened. So these days though, there are multiple ways of passing on and perhaps this is no knee-jerk reaction. Maybe that's why as well. Maybe some of this was already in the works. I don't think this is a knee-jerk reaction, the result of this meeting. To us, a bit of a bombshell. But I think the conversation may have been had. Your chief selector has been travelling. He was in Australia. He was with the team here as well. The other selectors were keeping a very close eye on how the SMAT was panning out. And Shubman Gill's form, yes, it's a hard call that they've taken. Would they not have spoken about Suryakumar Yadav as well? Sure, they would have. But just that they couldn't have dealt Suryakumar Yadav the same way as they did the vice captain.
No, but then there is the thing is, while I agree with Gill, there's that one Gautam Gambhir reel which is now going viral.
The vice captain being dropped and the captain not being dropped. I mean,
they would all know.
There must be some who don't.
No, so there's an interview which he had done, and
in our
office only. It was in the London Top. That's who it was with, and in that he said that when
few years ago.
Yeah, it was I think a few years prior, and in there he said that there's so many changes made, and the vice captain got dropped, not the captain.
He talks about this series where India didn't do well.
I think England is what he was referring to.
New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, where he says that I was the vice captain and I was dropped, but the captain
survived.
Obviously, the captain was MS Dhoni at that time. So his reference is to that I was the vice captain. So he asked that question. Have you ever seen that
in Indian cricket,
in
that
Indian
a captain
cricket,
survives or the vice captain
that a
is thrown
series
under the
is
bus.
not done well, the team has not done well, but the captain survived, the vice captain is not, has been made the Balika Bakra, that sort of a thing. And now, cut to, it's exactly how it played out.
Yeah.
At the moment, just as they say, because I've been on so, just as they say, for every cricketing situation, there is a Jofra Archer tweet. I think for every Indian cricketing situation, there is a Gautam Gambhir reel now. Because somewhere or the other, in some
He would have
interview,
called.
or
He said
whatever they
something.
say, he said something. Whether it's Sanju Samsung,
Abhishek Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal is another
Yashasvi
one.
Jaiswal, Sanju Samsung,
Specialists, batters, this,
They-
that,
Kuldeep
combination.
Yadav.
Call for Sky and Test cricket.
Kuldeep Yadav, vice captain, for everything.
I think that's the thing with punditry, and it can it's no one's best ally. It'll when it shifts to the other side, you just don't know, and so much of this is, again, this is actually not down to Gautam Gambhir. I think yes, he's the butt of all jokes right now, but perhaps not entirely his fault, because that's the nature of the job as well.
Yeah.
You speak so much of this basis context, and context changes. The context was something else a couple of months back when Shubman Gill, the stage that you mentioned in his life of the world being at his feet, truly was that context and truly was that kind of a setting. Now though, things have changed. 15 games have completely turned the tables. So much of this is down to
So
that.
happened with Ravi Shastri also. I remember some
Shastri.
Kuldeep, he said best overseas spinner.
And
then
where
would
was he not played
No,
exactly?
at least in that case, when Shaz said that, he was the coach. So that's
Does
why
a-
it was used as a stick to beat him with. That
does
he
a-
said number one spinner and then you didn't play him.
Would a Shaz not talk about how there, as a coach and captain, you need to go ahead, have a consistent 11, give that sort of confidence to your bowling lineup, to the batters, give them surety. You hear all of this being talked about day in day out. But under Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, you had the most number of changes. You never fielded the same 11.
The horses for courses.
Exactly. So this is, the world doesn't like a strong personality like Gautam Gambhir. I think that's the thing. He's misunderstood many a times, I feel. And the world just has a problem with strong-minded people and those who may not be as diplomatic as the world expects everyone to be. In Hindi and Punjabi, the word is muffat. He's a bit of a muffat. And just it's the world also having a bit of a problem with personalities like Gautam Gambhir.
No, I think
but bad timing as well.
It's also a reason why you see nowadays a lot of sports teams want managers, coaches, whichever way you're looking, who are very diplomatic, who will say the right thing, who will not give too many quotables. This is a problem, I dare say, your club manager, Ruben Amorim, also has. He'll go out and say whatever.
Yeah, but
we want the team to suffer. And I'm like, brother, you're suffering enough. You're in 15th position. What suffer? The point is that he will sometimes say things and then it gets taken out of context sometimes. Sometimes he's actually saying that and people are like, why being so honest? He's recently talking about young players in the club, saying, this player is struggling on loan. Do you want me to bring him back? Well, I guess this is a young player. Why are you talking nonsense about the young player? Gambhir is a bit the same. It's great for us media people
He's a
because
United fan of.
and Gambhir is very much the same. But the problem is then if you are that strong-minded, it is going to, at some point when you change your mind, those things are going to come back to haunt you. Period. That's just how it is.
I mean, just as the headline is so different to what he's actually saying.
No, he said he's further gone on to say that they've done no planning. He said there is no planning. So he has actually blasted the Indian selectors big time. He said that they were doing no planning. There were better players in the team. You weren't giving them a
But
chance.
he's now complimenting them, saying it's the right call.
They've all been doing it. I remember, I think Chris Shrikant on his channel said, I was shocked with the decision. It's a fantastic decision. And I'm like,
No, so was I. I was shocked because I didn't expect it.
None of us
Is it the right
did.
decision? Yes, it is. So I was shocked. But
it's
in
the
a
right decision.
Pleasant manner.
Yeah, but he's further on gone to say, see, there were better players than Gill in the format. You could have been
I
with
agree.
them.
But my point is, right now he's complimenting the selectors, not bashing.
But he
He's
says
saying-
zero planning. He said there's no planning.
Yeah, or saying there was no planning, and now
He said that you've foregone 3 months of planning for the sake of trying to accommodate one player.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah,
which is
again,
true. Which is
you-
something that we said.
You put how this whole story is played out and you give it to a bunch of cricket enthusiasts in 12th standard or whatever, this will make for a there'll be valid arguments for both sides of the debate. You can make a very valid argument about how maybe, backing Gill to the hilt was also the right thing to do, and maybe you would have heard who's to guarantee any sort of success with Sanju Samson. I'm just saying there are all sorts of permutations, combinations, all sorts of thoughts that can be presented right now. It's just down to who wants to say what at this point. No one is losing the argument if you want to make one for Gill or you want to make one for Sanju Samson.
Yeah, possible.
You talk about longevity, you talk about confidence, large scheme of things, future captain, this, that, then Gill fits into all of that. And this is where backing is all about. And when we conveniently give the example of an Australia or a South Africa for giving the long rope, maybe 15 matches is one rope, but make that 18-20, who knows, things change. But again, that's so much that can be talked about this. And
the main question is now, as you also put it out in your discussion, what does the future hold for Gill, the T20 player?
I think he'll need to change his approach to fit into this side. Look, he's a very good run accumulator who can score 140, 150. Is that what we are looking for in our openers right now? No. You're not looking for someone to get you 50 of 32, 33 balls. You're looking for someone to get you 40 of maybe 18, 20 balls. We're looking at players to strike at 180, 200. Gill, good as a player as he is, even in T20s, he's shown that time and time again for his IPL franchise, is not there yet. Now, either he can say, I'll wait, and I was vice captain now, surely I don't think he's been discounted. The chief selector, the chairman of selectors rather, and the captain were at great pains to ensure and say, no, it was combinations. Yes, he was a little bit out of runs, but it's also down to combinations, which tells me that they will go back to the experiment as soon as time permits. I think. I'm not saying they should. Whether or not they should, I think if you're looking at him as a pure opener, I don't think he makes it, because again, your next World Cup is also 28? How much will a Abhishek and even a Samson, I dare say, have aged by then? 2 years? I think they could still be your opening pair if things go right. But I think he'll need to up his strike rate if he wants to be considered for an opening slot.
And two things about Shubman Gill. One is he likes scoring big runs and he's a bit of an accumulator. He likes scoring big runs and I don't see this habit change. It's a very good habit for any batter, that to a top order batter. So I don't think that changes. The only thing is that this Indian team doesn't need accumulators. This Indian team, especially at the top, which is where Gill would want to project himself if he is to make a comeback, is you want people who can get you 40s, 30s at a quick click. What needs to change for Shubman Gill is, and I think there is absolutely a case that he can come back into the side. However, it will require not minor but major tweaking. You're asking for a bit of a transplant per se. You need that because there are too many people otherwise in the wings as well. Now a Shubman Gill needs to do something better than what others are offering. He knows that he knows that Yashasvi Jaiswal anyway is ahead of him. Now the selectors have moved past. So how do you do that? Two ways. One, you go the Ishan Kishan way, where you score about 500 odd runs across 10 matches in a domestic tournament. I doubt he gets to play those many matches, but the IPL is not too far away. So get those runs, but then the way in which you get those runs is going to be the key. So the IPL, good that he will play 7 matches at the Narendra Modi Stadium, a very good location to be able to change the narrative. And if you can go ahead do that, the doors could still be open, but the strike rate will have to be the key.
I mean, you never can make predictions in Indian cricket. Things change so fast because, as I said at the start of the program, a couple of months ago, world was at his feet, and look, he now finds himself out of the T20 team, which is to say that tomorrow if he comes back also, it shouldn't be a surprise. That's how rapidly things change in Indian cricket. Having said that, if I was to just hazard a guess, I think he'd find it even tougher because the way Indian T20 cricket is moving, I think you're moving towards a Suryavanshi and Yashasvi Jaiswal kind of, Matre kind of.
The Priyansh Aryas.
Priyansh Aryas kind of. That's where you're going. That's where T20 cricket per se is going. And my larger thing is that I think the days of all format batters may also be coming to an end. See, I'll give you Virat Kohli's example. I think he was the best all-format batter at one point, without doubt. But he could be the batter that he was and be the best all-format batter because T20 cricket at that time had not evolved as much. In today's scenario, let's rewind the clock back to 10 years and Virat is your player right now. He would struggle with his kind of game to be a all-format batter, even as effective in T20 cricket because the demands of T20 cricket have changed. He would have still been an outstanding ODI test batter. He was a fantastic T20 batter, because T20 cricket was also kind of played in a conventional way, which now it has changed. So that's why I think that, players like Gill, like Conway, those sort of players may not be the future in T20 cricket. That's why Steve Smith, will not find himself in a T20 team, or a Joe Root, or as I tell, a Devon Conway, or a Shubman Gill, I think, or a Babar Azam. Babar also finds himself out of. I think these are players that can be more suited to the ODI test. With that same style, now to dominate T20 cricket like a Priyansh Arya type of batting, or a Prabh Simran kind of batting, or a Suryavanshi kind of batting, or a Jaiswal, I think will not be the case, which is why it'll be very tough for him to be a sustain. He'll be your test captain, he'll be your ODI captain for some time to come. He may score a lot of runs in the IPL, may even win the IPL as a captain, who knows. In T20,
it'll take all those things for him to get back. And we've seen winning an IPL changes so much.
Yeah, but so again, I'm just saying, if you look at the demands of the team, I don't know.
No, it doesn't change anything. I'll give you an example. 2014, who won the IPL that year? KKR. Who was the captain? Gautam Gambhir. Who was the top run scorer? Robin Uthappa. Neither of them were in your T20I scheme of things at that point in time. Your IPLs don't have that much of an impact. Fun fact, who are the current IPL champions?
RCB.
How many players from RCB make it to the T20I team of right now? Zilch. None.
Yeah, Jitesh missed out. Virat's retired.
No, Patidar is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no one.
Has not been played.
Bhuvi, Yash.
No, Bhuvi, Yash, Suyash. No one. No one. You name anyone. DK is also retired now. There is no one from the RCB side who's even close to the T20I team. Jitesh was. That's it. That's my point. T20I cricket now, on T20 cricket, because your talent pool is so much, your IPL champions don't supply a single player. That's how.
But again, so much of it is also down to, look at where Shreyas Iyer found himself. He was all but the title was there, right? He just could not win it. And did he or the Punjab side do anything less to deserve it? No, absolutely not. But how can you say that a player like Shreyas Iyer doesn't deserve a place in the Indian? It's just that timing is so often the key as well with Indian cricket. Individual performances, you can't fault a Shreyas Iyer or so many other individual performers. But to give you an example of how somebody on the back of IPL performances has gone ahead and sealed a place in the team, Harshad Rana. If it wasn't for a successful IPL 2024, you wouldn't have had. Yes, he may have
gotten. But he's part of your team without a great last.
But again, the backing would not have been there had the performances to not been there in the first place.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a few questions. We'll try and address those. Steve Ticolo says, Nick sir, BCCI finally realized poster boy is made based on performance, not pushed by organization into fans' face also. Fans' voices heard, not in vain. I agree, Steve Ticolo. Thumbs up to that. Kapil Sham, right?
Yeah.
Dev, I think, maybe. He says, Nikhil sir, huge fan. Any chance you come to Mumbai and find something for lunch? I stay near International Airport. Hosting you for lunch would be a pleasure. Okay, Kapil, done. Next time I'm going to Mumbai, I'll announce it on the platform and then we can coordinate. Ashish Dhar is saying either play with all customs or not play at all.
Oh,
the Asia
handshake.
Yeah, that also is
fair point.
I also
fair
kind
point.
of
Fair point.
Agree.
Steve Ticolo.
Sky is missing golden rule of cricket. Bat should do the talking. Too many loose statements out of runs. 14 soldier. Yeah, what did you make of that?
Found it a very weird statement, to be honest. I know he was being tongue-in-cheek, but that's such an easy thing to be seen out of context. So,
as I said, again, I'm going back to Asia Cup. I wonder, and I think we've discussed how much of that entire Asia Cup has a role to play in his lack of runs now. Who knows?
But again, he was struggling for runs even prior to the Asia Cup.
He had a great IPL,
Yeah, but before.
Outstanding IPL.
Before and after that, the whole of this year, international cricket, nothing. Asia Cup was 10 matches. He's played 22. Wherever the performances and the rest
22 has come after that, no? So many he's played after Asia Cup. We're talking about before that.
No, but even before that, in T20I cricket, he was still a lot of form.
Yeah.
IPL, though, was on another planet.
IPL, it seems like he played the IPL in Mars.
No, Mumbai. Not
Not
Mars.
on Mars.
Ajib
At the
Agarkar says focuses on 6, 7, 8. Akshar's VC takes 6. Rinku, only good finisher and top fielder, takes 7. Who's your 8? Harshit was seems friendly or watching. You've missed out on Pandya and Dubey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ajib, I'm telling your team: Sanju Samsung, Abhishek, Tilak, Sky, Shivam Dubey, Hardik Pandya, Rinku Singh,
Akshar.
Akshar Patel, and then your bowlers.
Varun
Chakravarti.
Varun, Arshdeep, Bumrah.
Yes.
That's your bowling. Ashish there says Sanju will somehow get injured. Gir will come back. Arey, yeah, don't say such things, man.
There are people who said that. Mark my words. Who knows? But that's waiting for divine intervention. There's no cricketing logic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And for Gill, who knows?
Yashasvi will say, I'm ready.
Huh? He scored a century in SMAT recently.
Yeah.
Nah.
Shashank Singh says non-selection definitely proves that Gill was made ODI captain just to oust Rohit and not because of future planning. I don't know about that.
It may not entirely be true.
Yeah, Shashank, I'm not sure. I think they wanted to, because they were not 100% sure whether Rohit and Virat will make it. Not now, not immediately.
But 27.
Yeah, and so they did. I've made my personal opinion clear on that matter, that I would have stuck with Rohit. Until a time where I would have seen that he's not getting runs or he's not fit enough, then I would have thought about it. I wouldn't have changed it, but anyway, that was their thought process. Then also, do your damn, don't your damn, because then you also blame the selector that they're not planning, they're not thinking ahead. And let's say you continued with Rohit and then something didn't work. Last moment you'll say, what was your success?
Where was your planning?
So it's a double-edged sword in that sense.
Gaurav Kando says, world doesn't like strong personality like Gigi, quote unquote. Sorry, Gigi is not a strong but a weak personality. What his decisions show. You referred to Ravi's time with no same 11 in tests, but he didn't have 30 players playing tests in a year. The core of 15 to 17 was more or less the same.
The idea remains the same. If you're not giving people a consistent run, that also is a problem, and it just depends on what side of the debate you are and you are on. And I maintain, you look at it world over, I don't think people like those who look you in the eye and talk things straight. Just a thing. My observation.
Greg
Chappal goes Gill
Another strong personality.
says Gill at 26 has been dropped from 2 T20 World Cups. Virat at 27 had 2 T20 World Cup player of the tournaments.
No, that I agree. There's no comparison here.
None whatsoever.
Virat was on a different level. Completely agree. Vikas Sinha from the US.
Does Shubman's omission mean that Gigi's wings have been chopped?
Interesting question.
Who do you think was behind putting Shubman as poster boy prematurely?
See, I don't think there was any one person. I think, as far as I know, there was an entire think tank within the BCCI, whether it was the selectors, the BCCI themselves, may have been also endorsed by the coach, as I understand. So all of them came together and thought he's the heir apparent, he's the guy we go with. So I think that backing was there. But it's interesting to note, that's why I mentioned that the coach wasn't there in the selection meeting. As far as I'm hearing, that he was still backing a Shubman to be part of the team. He doesn't make the cut. So it's interesting. But again, I don't think it's about his wings being chopped. I still think that the coach did not have. That's why I go back to all those discussions when people would be targeting Gambhir. I said he's not that powerful in selection matters. Yes, 11, coach will have a say alongside captain, but 15, they are taking his feedback, but it's the selectors that are taking the call. So I think this just reinstates that more than anything else.
Yeah, Shashank once again saying, imagine Rocco and Gill in the same dressing room with Gigi now. ODI team will be tensed.
But I'll tell you one thing, and Shashank, just for your consumption, as far as I know, Rocco share a very healthy relationship with Gill, because somewhere they realize that whatever may have happened to them, it's not down on Gill.
Gill, exactly.
Yeah. And Gill had no role to play in that.
Gill had no role in him being elevated to vice captaincy as well.
Exactly.
It's the vision that the BCCI had for him, which wasn't fulfilled as a result.
He didn't lobby for it. He
exactly.
Did not,
you can do whatever you want to. You can go plead as well. But that doesn't mean you as a player pleading to the BCCI or the coach that you get it. Sorry, there are always so many takers.
And as far as I know, whatever I hear, I think both Rohit and Virat realized that as well. Yeah. That's why they still share a very good bond.
But I think he was talking about also the thing being there because they included Gigi. They're saying that you've got 3 players there now and somewhere or the other have been...
Yeah. But then that was there throughout the series as well. I think, You know, if you're professional, you're professional. You focus on the
Yeah, but this is something caught my eye. It's very funny. It might have to do nothing, but I thought it reminded me of this. So I'll share it. Is that Gigi has this habit, right, of putting out like these celebratory tweets when he wins a series. He actually didn't put out a celebratory tweet when India won the ODI series against South Africa, but he put out one for the T20 series in Australia and put out one for the T20 series which he won against South Africa.
I didn't notice that.
I also found it very interesting.
That with that statement that why are we
celebrating?
Yeah.
I'm just
so
saying
much you can make out of it, and so little that you can't.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is.
It is.
It
Okay.
is.
We're going to take your leave. We've really overshot our time today. We had something else to do. I had some work to do as well. But thank you once again for your company as always. Look forward to your company tomorrow as well. Do leave a comment on the video. We'll try and take some of those comments. We have one of Gaurav we'll take before we go. He says, my Dadu of 70 years says anything he wants to anyone. Is he a strong personality? As per you, even if 11 was not same, India was not losing every time.
He makes a good point. Especially the first line.
Which is what?
He's saying that basically he's comparing Gigi to his old grandfather, saying that even my grandfather says anything to anyone. Does that make him a strong personality?
Family matters I don't comment
Stop
on.
being naughty. Okay, guys, look after yourself. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Fingers crossed, no technical glitches like we had yesterday.
And briefly
going
today, there was a scare.
There was a scare here.
Lots more sports-related content on Sports Today. Check that out as well. For the moment, bye-bye from all of us.
Bye.